I'm Dr. Parks, and today I'm answering a question from Lachey. Lachey wants to know what the deal is with vitamin D. Why is it so important? Well, Lachey, I'm glad you asked. I'll be right back with an answer for you. All right, Lachey, and anybody else who is wondering what this deal is with vitamin D, you are in the right place. So stay tuned. I am going to break it down for you. Now, vitamin D is essential in our bodies. And let me tell you a secret, it's not even a vitamin. So when it was discovered, it was found to be essential, and all essential things they considered vitamins back then. So they named it vitamin D, but it's not a vitamin. You cannot eat it. And that's one of the mistakes a lot of people make. They think that they're going to eat like vitamin D fortified foods. Like if you walk through the grocery store and stuff, you'll see stuff with like extra vitamin D added to it. But all this vitamin D is synthetic. And it doesn't really work like that. Vitamin D is a hormone, and your body needs to make it. So a lot of times if you're hormonal imbalances and you're highly stressed and all of this stuff, your vitamin D numbers will be low. And so a lot of doctors over the past few years, thankfully, have started screening their patients for vitamin D, which is very, very useful. The problem is a lot of people get put on this prescription vitamin D, which is basically hormone replacement, since vitamin D is a hormone. But it's not even the active form of the hormone. It's vitamin D2 that they get put on, which doesn't even work. They get put on, if you've ever been prescribed vitamin D, you've probably been prescribed 50,000 IUs once a week, which is a massive dose. And once a week, you literally just pass it out. Like it does not work. It doesn't get into your system, and your vitamin D levels may raise like marginally. It's not a big difference when people take vitamin D for 12 weeks in that prescriptive dose. Now, I do recommend supplementing vitamin D, but the supplement has to be made from a good source, and it can really only come from an animal source, since plants don't actually make vitamin D. They don't have skin. And that's how your vitamin D is made. You actually have to absorb sunlight directly into your skin so that your body can then make vitamin D. Now you need adequate amounts of cholesterol to make vitamin D. So it gets really complicated because sometimes people are on cholesterol medicine. I don't know why people would ever be on cholesterol medicine. That's a whole other discussion. But that actually blocks vitamin D. When you have low vitamin D, you are at risk for every known disease to men, especially cancer, because vitamin D is a key component in making sure that your immune system works. And your immune system is what protects you from cancer. So, the other risk factors that vitamin D is a risk factor for things like diabetes. So people with low vitamin D levels can actually have diabetes as a result of that, because vitamin D has a very critical role in how insulin works in your body. Heart disease, things that are more common that we notice a lot with vitamin D is issues with your bone and teeth. So issues with your teeth, issues with your bone, issues with mineral balances, calcium and phosphorus in the body. There are so many implications. One of the biggest things I see with vitamin D is depression and anxiety and mood issues and other hormonal imbalances, because if one hormone in your body is imbalanced, it can actually have a trickle-down effect on other hormones. So vitamin D is a big deal, but picking the right vitamin D supplement is also essential. Now, in an ideal world, we'd all be able to be outside and just sunbathe naked and make as much vitamin D as we want every day. But it's not like that. Like, we go outside like all covered up, wearing clothes all the time, and we just don't make that much vitamin D. And some of us live in climates where there's no sun. Like, it's winter all the time and it's cold and you can't go outside uncovered, and there's no sun anyways half the year. So we have to find a way to make sure that our vitamin D levels stay high. I personally recommend going on vacation a lot and laying on the beach, because that's really the best way to make your vitamin D, is to put on a bathing suit and just lay out. and that's the absolute best way. But if you have to supplement, and I check everybody who comes into my program, one of the really cool things that we do is we have this crazy, insane, huge lab panel that we do for everybody. And vitamin D is one of those tests that we perform, because you can't just randomly take vitamin D, you know, especially if it's a good vitamin D that works. And in our practice, we have a private brand that of vitamin D that works like this. Like within a few weeks, like everybody's vitamin D is through the roof. But we need to know the right dose, and we need to know your levels. So having your vitamin D levels checked is very, very important before you start supplementing. When you're looking for a vitamin D supplement, you have to look for one that has D3 plus K2. And there's a handout that I made to kind of give you a guide to shopping for vitamin D. You can get our vitamin D, of course, but it's really restricted to if you're in our practice, if you're in our program or not. Just because I can't tell you how much you need to take or for how long if I don't know your information. But if you want to go shop for vitamin D or check to see if the vitamin D that you are taking is a good vitamin D, then I prepared a handout for you. And you can go to my website, drparks.com/vitamin D, and download it for free. And it will kind of give you a little guide to check to see if the vitamin D that you're taking is the right one. Or if you want to get a vitamin D, make sure that you don't get vitamin D that is worthless and not going to help you at all. So go to my website, drparks.com/vitamin D. And until next time, remember, if you have health questions, ask Dr. Parks.